On New Year's Day, we flew from Sydney to Manila to join the OMF Philippines team at their annual national conference. 2 weeks later, we flew from Manila to our new home in Davao in the southern Philippines.
Once we were in Davao, we spent most of our time setting up bank accounts and looking for a place to rent, and then making it livable, setting it up, because it was completely bare. We also spent significant time trying to get Rhiannon enrolled at one of the local schools and preparing for language and culture learning. We also took public transport and explored the city. To be more effective at training Davao gospel workers and discipling locals here, it's important to understand the local heart language of Cebuano and Davao culture and worldview. So this year we're investing time in language and culture learning using a system called GPA. It's actually really fun and uses games, so even Rhiannon can join in. Next year, Hefin plans to lecture in New Testament studies at the local Bible college, whilst I will continue with GPA studies, and Rhiannon will start kindergarten at Faith International Academy in August later this year.
During the first couple of months in Davao, we visited at least 8 or 9 churches. We were looking for an English-speaking home church for the whole family, especially while language learning in 2017. Our visit introduced us to a little of the diversity of churches here in Davao. Smaller churches to mega churches, some with great teaching and others with not so great teaching. Pretty much all of them with great music though. We chose Emmanuel Baptist Church because it was a medium-sized family church not too far from home, where the Bible was taught and where we thought we might be able to be encouraged and encourage others. Well, it's only interesting and different, a very sort of different culture from one I'm used to. It's a pretty atypical Asian culture, let alone very much like Australia. So it's new. That's, I guess, what's interesting about it.
Okay. I enjoy, because everything is still fairly new, I enjoy learning new things. I enjoy trying different foods. Sometimes it takes a bit of courage to try something that looks a little bit, what is that? But I enjoy that, and I enjoy meeting new people, and we are constantly meeting new people.
I like jeepneys and tricycles.
One of the things I found hardest is probably the constant heat. I don't mind it being warm, I don't even mind it being hot, but there's no letter. Even at night at the moment, it doesn't really cool down very much, or if it does, our flat's pretty warm. And it's pretty hot around here, and that gets a bit wearing after a while.
Just the constant heat and the humidity makes it hard. Sometimes you don't feel like doing much. It makes you lethargic and feeling slow and dumpy and lazy. But other than that, yeah, of course I miss having my family down the road that I could visit.
I miss my grandma and papa, my grandma and my grandpa. I also miss my scooter and a operating scooter.
Well, there's a lot of stuff you have to learn about the different cultures of Davao and the Philippines. It's a very complicated place where there isn't one clear majority culture in some ways. We're learning probably the largest group's language, Cebuano, but there are different ways of speaking English. Lots of people do speak it. There are lots of different languages being spoken by different people, and just understanding the diversity of the place. It's pretty complicated.
And also learning to trust God, because there are things here that are completely out of your control, things that would take half an hour to do in Australia that seem to take a whole lot longer here, and just beginning to learn patience and humility and realizing, wow, I don't know how to do that here. I'm going to have to ask someone, or I'm just going to have to pray that this works out. Yeah, even like the traffic is a bit scary. So
I think at the moment it's probably best to be praying for us to be diligent at language learning and just giving it enough time. It's sometimes a little bit hard to balance the different needs of family and continuing to settle in here and managing Rhiannon. It does mean that we probably wouldn't get as much time as we might do otherwise. So putting the time into language learning and being diligent, I think is one of the key things.
Please be praying for me and Hefin and also Rhiannon that we keep walking closely with Jesus, that we keep reading our Bibles and trusting God in prayer. Please also pray that we develop good friendships with people. We're making some new friends, but due to our lack of local language, I feel that we're only scratching the surface because people's English here is not their first language, and we don't quite understand the culture yet. So relationships are still fairly superficial.
Being patient for way to go to kindergarten at Faith Academy.